Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Crassus Entertainment. I am here with my twin brother today. Martin is busy today, and Liam wanted to do a video. So I thought, fuck it, we'll do this one. We're going to be doing a Jubilee video again. This one is, do all vegans think the same? Liam actually used to be a vegetarian for a number of years. So the better insight into the reasons why vegans might be vegan. So let's jump in. If you guys like this video, please drop it a like, subscribe if you're new as well, and leave me any comments about suggestions that we can react to. And you can choose whether you'd like Martin or Liam to react to them, I suppose. That is a little bit loud for me, I don't know about you. Bye, vegans.
You can be vegan for reasons other than ethical.
Of course you can, help.
Yes, absolutely. And in some places, depending on where you
Ooh.
go.
That is not what I thought.
I guess it's just like in the definition, veganism is a way of living which seeks to exclude as far as practicable and possible all forms of animal exploitation and cruelty to animals for any reason, clothing, food.
He sounds like the typical vegan.
No, he pretty much has memorized that word for fucking word almost.
That's true. It sounds very scripted, or it sounds like that is his go-to argument.
That is his go-to. Yeah, possibly. He must use that quite a lot, I'd imagine.
It's about animals being ethical for them.
I didn't become vegan with any sort of ethical reasoning in mind. I just was very sick all the time, and I just had an inclination that if I stopped eating animal byproducts that I would feel better, and I did. And all the ethical reasons came as a result of me looking at my health and seeing that change. I definitely have stayed vegan because of ethical reasons, but I became vegan for my health.
I became vegan for health reasons, but I think the end goal of veganism is animal liberation. So I feel like that's more plant-based when you're vegan for health or vegan for something else, because at the end of the day, we seek to use products that have no animals in them at all.
The reason why I went vegan was for the environment.
I find it very strange. So I understand where they're coming from. They want to do it for
Yeah.
ethical reasons. They don't want to harm animals to create our clothes, makeup, food, skin creams, everything. I get that. Where the fuck else is it going to come from? Give me that. Give me a viable alternative for everything, and we work.
For example, we used to use animal fats in like soaps and that.
Yeah.
And then we moved on to essential oils. So maybe we could focus on finding alternatives rather than using animals.
Where is the alternative? Like with soaps, I get that, but where is the alternative for clothes?
That's a good question.
So yeah.
I mean, in certain clothes like wool, for example, that doesn't really kill.
No, but
an
you're
animal.
still using the animal product of the wool.
You're still using it, but at the end of the day, it's
And
like,
if you don't
like,
shear
sheep
they
need
grow.
shearing, and
Exactly. You might as well
what are
use
they going
it.
to do with the wool?
You might as well use it.
You might as well use it, but then there's all the other animals that we need to kind of like not liberate, as this woman says, because I don't think that's possible. So I don't know.
Climate change is real. You could do more good for the environment by being vegan than giving up your car, which is insane. I guess the ethics came afterwards, which is why I agree with you guys. I feel like we both think the same things, but why I started wasn't for ethics, which is why I'm here.
I will not buy or cook non-vegan items in loved ones. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, all of them are like, absolutely not.
What?
This one's tough because I've bought like a chicken burrito for my brother. He would go get it anyway, and that's maybe not the best way to go about it. Maybe I should deter him, but the way I try to promote my diet is just by being an example and not by forcing it into someone else, because I just think that if maybe like...
Well, I agree with that. She shouldn't force it on other people. She just promotes her diet. She's saying, oh, I'm eating this, I'm just going to eat this. But she's not saying, but you should eat this too because of such X, Y, and Z. Do you know what I mean? Well, what's funny about that? I don't understand what's funny about that.
I don't know. I just started laughing. It just sat like I'm interpreting it differently.
Well, she's saying that she's literally just said she went and bought a burrito for her brother, but she wouldn't buy it to cook, I suppose. But she's not exactly saying, oh, you have to eat this, brother, you have to do this. I'm doing this, so you should too. She's not trying to force it, saying, oh, this is better for your health, this is better for animals, blah, blah, blah. She's literally just, essentially just saying, I'm gonna have this for dinner.
Like I had bought a vegan burrito, he would just like be resentful of veganism even more because he didn't get what he wanted.
Buying it or preparing animal products or anything that's not vegan for somebody is enabling them to fund the very oppression that I'm against. Like for me, I've taken the liberation pledge. So like I'll refuse to eat at a table where people are eating animal products. In my mind, it's the same thing as if like you're eating a dog or a child in front of me. You're not gonna wanna like stay at that table.
But it's not the same.
You're going to, okay, the dog bit I understood, but you're going to compare someone eating a beef burger to someone eating a child.
Someone eating another human.
Where's the logic in that?
There is no logic.
You're gonna wanna like try to change those people.
Okay, so if you're gonna try to change people, don't you think it'd be beneficial to sit with them because then you could expose them to your point of view?
So actually,
Exposing
every
to a
single
point of view, it's
person-
not exposing their actions, it's exposing them to a new point
No,
of view. It's wrong choice of word, I get that, but she's essentially just saying
I was going to say, it's like wrong choice of word.
wrong choice of word, but yeah, she's just saying, I'll just share your point of view, I suppose, is what she meant.
Yeah.
that I've told the Liberation Pledge about, they've had no problem changing their meals and going to vegan restaurants with me. If you care about me as a person, how could you not change one meal?
My approach is like leading by example, right? All of
He
my
has a
family
point.
knows you're not going to come to my house and bring any animals in or ask me to prepare it, but I do a lot of cooking. So I think what has brought me a lot of joy is like taking everything that I know my family loves to eat and veganizing it. And I've seen like my mom, my dad, and my brother, who I never thought would go vegan in a million years, go vegan. And I do know that if I would have had the approach of like judging them or, you know, coming too aggressive, it would not have been met with love or understanding at all. Not forcing it on them, it has actually helped them come over to the dark side.
No, what I will say is that I have no problem with vegan food. I've tried the occasional vegan food, and if I went around someone's house and they're vegan, and they said, "Look, I'm going to cook anything vegan," as long as you give me a heads up and tell me, I'm happy for that. And I'm happy to go to. I think most people would be willing to try vegan food.
Yeah,
I think most
absolutely.
people would be willing to go to a vegan restaurant every now and then.
Mm.
And if they know like they want to invite you to dinner, and you're like, "Well, I take a liberation pledge, even I don't want any animal products." Yeah, fair enough. If you care about the person, maybe you can make adjustments for them instead of digging your heels in and being a twat about it.
Yeah, but the more you make adjustments for them, the more they'll expect you to do that.
But that's the point. And it's just meeting
No,
a
you
dietary
shouldn't- you shouldn't-
requirement.
I know, but you shouldn't have to change what. You shouldn't have to adjust what, like every single time. I'm not saying once or twice, fine. But what I'm saying is that there are some people that will use this to their advantage, and they'll say, "Oh, if you don't change your diets for me, then you're not really my friend," and that is manipulation.
That's an extreme though.
No, but what I'm
He's
saying
talking
is that
about like
that's how
if they go around his house or he goes around their house for dinner. That's you can change that one meal.
I mean, to be honest, if you're going around a vegan's house for dinner, you know what to expect.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is, for that one meal, he's right. You can change it, and if he doesn't want to be there because you're eating animal products, that's fine too. There isn't really a bad thing about that.
You're still vegan if you allow yourself an exception occasionally. 3, 2, 1.
No.
No, not really.
Somewhat agree.
Where do you draw the line then, I guess? Like you're bending your own morals every once in a while. It's the same thing with like meatless Mondays. Like we don't have like homophobic free Tuesdays. Like it's every day.
Oh.
So hang on, you again. This is a weird comparison. He's comparing someone who's changing a diet for a day, as either fad or a choice or whatever, to again, whatever the fuck he said, some gay bashing. You're comparing someone changing their diet to being an awful human being.
That comparison just doesn't make any sense.
The two comparisons he's made have made no sense. They don't correlate to each other at all.
No.
Fuck's sake, he's made one good point so far.
Homophobia free, right? So like, it's the same thing for me. If like you slip up, it's like saying like, oh yeah, I just am like totally fine with certain amounts of exploitation if I'm doing it.
say you're traveling and it's genuinely hard to find like vegan food. You can't like survive on like just like lettuce all the time. And in certain like cultures, like say like China, like it's really hard to find something without meat.
I've grown up in different countries and surrounded by different cultures, and we live in a place where veganism is almost mainstream and it's super accessible, but there's developing countries where that's just not the case.
Even though like Beyond Burgers, Gardein, like those aren't accessible worldwide, we have fruits and vegetables everywhere. And like, I don't want to just tell.
But you need protein.
Exactly.
You need proteins in diet.
Yes.
Like, they're right. In developing countries, it is a lot harder to get access to vegan-only foods that have protein substitutes and other vitamins that you are going to that mainly people get from animal products into their diet.
You can get protein from like I think you can get it from certain.
You can get it from nuts. Yeah, you can. But how many nuts are you gonna have to eat?
A lot.
Exactly, a lot. And not on the extreme end of this. What if you're allergic to nuts and you can't eat nuts?
That's a good.
Where are you
point.
going to get your protein from in these developing countries?
Well, don't go to those developing countries then.
He's speaking strictly from a first world perspective.
Absolutely.
Whereas I think the other two mentioned about developing countries, and in other cultures it's harder.
They seem to.
They're taking everyone
Yeah.
into account. He's strictly talking about first world countries, which in first world countries I'd have to agree with him.
In first world countries, yes.
There's no reason to not go vegan if you want to. There's no reason to.
Like in the East and the Middle in the East and the Middle East, it can be quite hard.
Tell everyone to only like
There's food
basic
deserts
plants.
though, and in
but-
food deserts that's not
Food deserts.
necessarily
Yeah, see?
always true. Because I've been in these situations where it's just not really a sustainable option to feed yourself 100% vegan.
Is it more of like a convenience thing, or is it more of a like it's really there's literally nothing available? There's not a banana or an apple or a bean.
I spent 3 months near the Arctic Circle in Iceland, and in Iceland their diet is just, it's such a cold climate. It's all like sheep, fish, you know, it's really dairy, because
But they don't
that's
have
what
any
the
fruits or
land.
vegetables out there whatsoever at all.
Oh my god.
In the Arctic Circle.
This guy.
You are naive as fuck.
Absolutely. Like I understand where she's coming from. Never mind veganism and that. Our basic instinct as humans is to survive in any way we can. So if that's the only food sources that you have available to you, especially in the Arctic Circle, you do what you have to. And this guy just sounds
Naive. In the
very much so.
There are a lot of really harsh climates out there where they're too hot, too cold. Bananas, apples, they won't grow there because it's too harsh for
No,
them.
no.
Yes, there are other fruits available potentially, but not everywhere. She's right when she talks about food deserts.
It doesn't allow for that unless you're building greenhouses,
Thank
which
you.
know is like how they're moving.
Thank
but
you.
in remote villages
Just said
where
that.
there's
Climate
only
does not
12
allow for
people, you know, you can forage flowers to make tea and like little berries here and there, but that doesn't sustain people for
Thank
the kind
you.
of climate that they
He's trying.
experience.
You can see in his face. He was trying to think of
Yeah,
something to
yeah.
counteract. Oh no, that's not cool. Don't bully people for being vegan.
No, that's pathetic.
Oh, she went
Whoa!
straight one into the
Where I
other.
come from, Orange County, is just a really nice place to be vegan. People really understand why people are vegan. Every now and then you get the,
Or they just
bro,
don't care.
you look like you need a hamburger, but I mean, it's not that bad.
I became vegan
That's not bullying.
in 2006, and I didn't know anybody else who didn't eat meat or was vegan. Like, I got left out of like a lot of dinner plans and stuff like that with family and friends. They didn't want to pick somewhere that I could also eat at. They wanted to stay with what they wanted to eat. I don't think that I feel bullied for being vegan now, but when I first became vegan, I definitely did.
I get people who try to
No, it is a form of exclusion.
I agree, it's a form of exclusion. But as for bullying, I don't see it as that. I think it was just
Fair line, isn't it?
I think it's just like it's like when I became vegetarian though, for the first time, and then certain people like you guys didn't, but some people found it hard to adjust. So I think in that sense,
In what way? How do they find it hard to adjust to your dietary requirement?
no, not my dietary requirement, to
Oh.
other because some people are just. Because when I said, oh look, I'm going to be vegetarian, right? You guys are like, yeah, that's fine. We can accommodate that.
Yeah,
That's fine.
because
But
who
some
cares?
people no, I don't mean to sound stereotypical, particularly Americans, tend to make a big deal out of nothing. So I imagine, in a sense, they just found it hard to adjust.
Take like my blackness away. They'll say you're not black if you're vegan. How can you be black and vegan? And it really does mess with your head.
Well, that's
I'll get a
harsh.
lot of social media bullying to the point where sometimes it does affect my mental health just because I try to be a good person, but just someone finds out you're vegan and it's like the world hates you. And I think it's really easy to bully people online.
If you wear leather, you are not a vegan. 3,
True. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. Because leather's made of, like, cows, isn't it? Or just animal skin in general. Yeah. Oh, look!
I think if you consciously consume
The one guy who has been bitching about using animal products, and he took the liberation pledge, and who was so naive about where fruits and vegetables are able to grow, is he agrees. No way.
No, he agrees that if you wear leather, you can't be vegan.
Was that the question?
That was the question, yeah. If you wear leather, you are not vegan, and he agrees with that.
Oh, then he's right. I'm going to cut that.
I think if you consciously consume leather and buy it and wear it because you want to and you're conscious of that choice, then it's not vegan. But the way our society is structured, there's so many accidental cases in which you could be owning or wearing a vegan thing. Like you ride a bike, a lot of bike seats are leather.
Ooh, is he
and
changing his answer?
it's hard to
That's the
always
point.
know
They can have a
exactly what
conversation.
you're
Some of them
purchasing.
might think, "Oh yeah, I did
To
think of it that
me,
way."
it's like just not fair to the animals for us to like abuse our own ignorance and not actually take the time to
Abuse your own-
research.
I think people do have
Says the person who got the fucking thing about the fruits wrong. Research that, you dimwit.
I was going to say, like, the only one who's ignorant here, mate, is you.
So far.
So far.
But here's the thing. Here's a question for you as well. So him especially, but they all want to be. They're all doing it for ethical reasons at this stage.
Mm-hmm.
Respect that. Not a problem. Slave human children made your fucking clothes in sweatshops,
And no one bats an eyelid.
and you don't give a fuck about that, do you?
No.
Where's their liberation? Fuck it. Make your own clothes. You're wearing clothes made in a sweatshop by kids, and you're not standing up for them.
especially in like poorer neighborhoods, are working so much they don't have the time to consciously go out and research about veganism. I think that's more of an issue that comes when you have more income and more choice. And I just want to say, yeah, by the way, this is fake leather. This is fake leather.
Don't tear them apart in the comments.
Yeah, please, guys.
I think it's really important though that we like have a very clear message of what veganism is, because when we start to make excuses, then people who aren't vegan and are just learning about it, they have a confused message of what it is.
Again,
Oh no, I'm excited about this one. Do you
again,
think they're better people?
no, again, it makes it sound like a religion rather than a choice.
Thank you.
So I wouldn't say
Thank
like
you.
Wait, what was the
I'm
question?
a better person than other people.
The statement was, you're a better person if you're vegan.
Oh, that just sounds
The
so...
majority of the vegans were like, no, I'm no better than anyone else.
But let's hear
in
it.
general, but me as an individual, I am a better person than I ever was before, and I guarantee
Oh,
that
is he talking
anyone who goes vegan
Right.
will be a better version of themselves.
Okay, so I think he's misunderstood the statement then.
He thinks he's a better person to
Actually,
who he was before.
There actually are,
So he's comparing himself to himself rather than himself to other people.
although the statement does say you're a better person, it doesn't say you are better than other people.
That is true.
Is that what it said? Let's
How-
just double check.
I think that was it. You are a better person, but it doesn't.
Ah.
It doesn't specify one way or the other.
But I think it talks as in a reflection of oneself.
Yeah. However, people can interpret that question differently.
We
like,
definitely did.
We definitely did, and maybe it's like,
Right.
okay, we don't want to go to agree,
So before
but we
anyone
can't stay in the middle.
if anyone jumps down that guy's throat, we've misunderstood the statement, I think. You are a better person. I think they're talking about themselves. Do they think they're better people for being vegan? And he's like, yes, I am. I'm trying to make ethical decisions. I'm trying to be morally correct. So he feels he's become a better person since being vegan. I respect that. Fair enough. But I definitely we've misunderstood what that is.
But that still, in a way, makes him sound pretentious.
Better person
I mean,
than I ever was before.
maybe,
and
but
I
he's only talking about
guarantee
himself.
that
He's not talking
anyone
about
who
comparing
goes
himself to
vegan
others.
will be a better version of themselves.
That's fair enough.
I think I'm a better person because I'm vegan, but I know vegans who are racist and homophobic, and to me, they
Fair
aren't
enough.
good people, you know? I think they make good choices when it comes to what they consume.
I think to be vegan, which is why I was in somewhat disagree, because I feel like if you're racist and you're homophobic or you're an oppressor, I'd feel like that's very anti-vegan. Just in my
What does
personal
those have
opinion,
to
I
do
feel
with
like
being a
vegan is an
vegan?
anti-discrimination, anti-oppression movement.
There you go, because they see veganism as an anti-discrimination, anti-oppression movement. Well, she does at least.
That's ridiculous.
Is it though?
Yes.
I mean, the discrimination fact, yes, that's ridiculous. But oppression, we do oppress animals. We do. Chickens shoved in cages. Animals birthed at ridiculous rates to feed people. Animals slaughtered constantly for our consumption
Yeah, but at
of
least
products. So that is
a lot of people, some people have died or been seriously injured to try and stop that.
yeah.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why I became a vegetarian in the first place. And to be honest, the only meats I ever eat nowadays, are chicken and bacon. Everything else, I still eat corn stuff. Not simply because of a moral thing, but also because, in my opinion, it just tastes better. Have a go at me in the comments if
You are
want.
honestly going to sit there with a straight face and tell me corn mince, which I ate for quite a long time, by the way, tastes better than real meat.
Yes, I will sit here and proudly admit that.
That is bollocks.
Anyway, before this turns into an argument between ourselves, let's return to the topic of the video.
No, that is bollocks.
No, let's return to the topic of the video.
Solely disagree, and I think most people, if you eat corn mince, go and eat some corn mince right now, and you tell me if that tastes better than actual proper mince, because I'm telling you now, it fucking doesn't. Your taste buds need fucking adjusting.
It's really hard to be racist and be vegan. I would not consider you vegan if you're homophobic or racist or something like that, because we are animals. How can you be discriminating against humans in that form? So that's why I'm here. Someone who's truly vegan, who is of those values, in my personal opinion. I don't feel like they're better, but I feel like they are a good person.
I find that very weird.
I love learning.
They all there's so many comparisons they keep making with homophobia, racism, with veganism, and my understanding was that veganism was it's what you consume, what you wear, and what you use in terms of animal products. I don't know how they keep making that correlation with homophobia and racism.
Because they literally have nothing else to compare it with. That's pretty much the that's.
Well, you can compare it to eating meat.
Okay, that's the wrong word. But you essentially bring out the racist or the homophobic card when you've literally got nothing else. And
Really?
And here's the thing,
Because veganism has a lot of
like
good points.
veganism, like you choose that,
Yeah.
but obviously racism is like hating on someone based on the color of their skin, which they cannot choose. So
Yes, you can. You're not born a racist. No one is born
no,
racist.
I mean like the color of your skin. You can't choose that.
Oh, I see. I see.
That's what I mean. You can't
Right.
choose the color of your skin.
Of course not.
So you can't choose.
But you can choose to hate it.
You can choose.
That's
to
their
hate.
correlation. I think they're trying to. I don't understand the correlation between choosing to not use animal products and choosing to be racist.
No,
I don't understand where that is.
but there's barely a correlation there. That's the thing. But racism is taught.
Yes.
With veganism,
You could be taught to be vegan.
you can be taught.
I suppose you can be. Oh, I don't understand. Those comparisons I don't understand. But veganism actually has a lot of good points, I find. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this. And if you have, drop the video a like. Liam, thank you for coming.
Yeah, because the dislike button has been deactivated, hasn't it?
No, just the number.
It has.
No, the dislike button's still there.
But I don't think you should add that to spare your own feelings.
Oh, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't get that many dislikes.
Even if you get like one dislike. I've seen you crying in the corner, weeping because of your one dislike. I'm joking. He hasn't actually done that. He's a big boy.
Yeah, I cry when there's two. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.